I'm going to try in a few minutes to show how traffic works here. Here we're uniquely fortunate to have a sign that has an arrow going one way. In the main they don't. In the main they don't even have street signs. It even has a sign that doesn't, that says you shouldn't enter there. But what happens is that the traffic coming horizontally here has an implied duty to stop for any traffic coming down that hill. And the same thing is true in uphill traffic. It will make the horizontal traffic stop. So horizontal traffic will slow down to make sure nothing's coming. Sometimes it creates fairly tight situations, but I've only seen one accident. It was, ironically, just down the street a little bit. Here we'll see. Cabbies, as usual, are arrogantly take the boldest move, even though they own their own vehicles. At first it looks chaotic, but it seems to work. And the people uphill and the ones going uphill and downhill know they will have the right-of-way, so they tend to be proactive, if you will. It also seems that with regard to sidewalks, in the main, unless it's in a tourist area, the government does relatively little. It's up to the property owner, and you see a whole range of quality and designs and specs, or not. There are no standards of community cleanliness in the sense of property being in a certain cleanup state. There's an irony here, bold red new signs declaring this to be private property, and it's literally a sewer of what remains from prior structures, including the one over there that's burned out, and including this floor that still has some tile remaining on it. But it gives you an idea of the underpilings of, literally, of some of the buildings here. And then of course the ultimate final irony is the gate here is ajar, so someone, if they were bizarre, would go in there, I suppose. La Anonima is it's really kind of like a small Walmart, and it's just a small grocery store. Produce down here in Ushuaia is really bad. Almost as bad as it was in El Calafate, but that was the worst. Mainly, I suppose, because it's difficult to get that kind of thing shipped here, or at least expensive. This hopscotch I discovered the other night. Thought I'd come down and take a shot of it. Little flowers there on the left. You know what's on the right. 8-9 cielo, sky. Some handprints. And might be somebody's name. This is a monument to the Navy. Porpoises in the front, and it was being cleaned the other day. Presumably now will be painted. Mountains in the distance, which I probably would have videoed yesterday, now have a dusting of snow, the higher elevations, from yesterday's rain. The last couple of days have had rain in the morning, reasonably nice afternoons. This is not quite as nice as yesterday, and then rain again at night. Here the dusting is on these peaks now. And that's the glacier I climbed up to. You can see a little bit more of what that area was that was clouded at the time. This looks like a touring RV for a number of people. There are a whole bunch of seats up front, maybe for 12, 15 people. And then I'm guessing that there's areas for storage, and in the back there's areas for sleeping. This is the cormorant I saw diving yesterday. Well, same kind out at the park. This is a little bit closer view. This is one substantial government beauty improvement project. I'm guessing that this area in front of us, this pond, will remain a pond since they're putting in a conduit over there. Maybe it'll be surrounded by shops. And maybe all this area here will be parking and more shops. And all the way down there where I was the other day, parking and shops. A new monument to the 323 heroes of the Crucero ARA General Belgrano. Don't know what that is, but it was in 1982. It might have been the Falklands incident with England. Yeah, this is called the Plaza Islas Malvinas. The plaza, or the islands of Malvinas, or the Falklands. So this is a tribute to that experience. These men are working on the forms for the top of the wall. Everything is done pretty much piecemeal, but a very interesting monument there. I don't know whether those holes represent the Falklands. Interesting, it may personify the absence of control of the Falklands. Don't know what these reliefs are, whether they're athletic or some dance or something else. Certainly it's a tribute to the human body somehow. Lots of plazas, plazoletta. This is for Prefecto Luis Pedro Fique. They're nicely done with flowers. Nice little monument. Not yet used. There's one that's architecturally interesting, a series of arches. Hopefully in a year or two, all of this rubbled area will be completely redone. Hopefully there'll be parks as well as the monuments. I don't know that monuments do a lot for anybody. Maybe they're government's reminders to the people of why the government does what it's done. I think this is a garment that was worn around the waist by women. They were ahead of their time. Also, it looks like two kinds of shells are used. I'm not sure if that's true, or I may be able to see better when I look at the video. They do get bigger as you get towards the center. Notice how tightly wrapped they are. It must have acted like a button. It's interesting on this rendition of the migration of man out of Africa and to the South America and of North America do indicate the possibility, if not probability, of direct sea travel, which are now becoming more in vogue as theories. What's interesting here is that now what's becoming in vogue is the reverse of the red line and the movement. Correction. Here it goes a little bit farther and suggests not only the new theory that I had heard, the movement across the North Atlantic when it was frozen into Virginia of the Americas, North America, but also that Africans may have come across. That's, I didn't know of before. This describes the glaciation between 20 and 18,000 years ago in Tierra del Fuego. And this is 16 to 14,000 years ago with Ushuaia at the right. Here's Ushuaia in the first picture. This is 12 to 10,000 years ago. And Ushuaia should be buried on the right-hand side of the glacier to the right. And here today, I think Ushuaia is in here. This is where the Yamana lived, was through this area. And the Selknam lived above that, and then the Hush to the right. It suggests here that the Amana ancestors arrived here 7,000 years ago after the inundation of 8,000 years ago of Tierra del Fuego.